What is the definition of success? So what are you striving to achieve and why? Let's just have a bit of a laugh with it and see where it goes. Be open-minded. Okay, so right, I'm sat down with Eric from Popcorn. He's got superpowers. One of those superpowers which we're going to talk about today is how to hire great people.
Yeah.
So I've been working with Eric and Popcorn for nearly 4 years, and I've seen your team of people. Okay. And you might not realise it, but that team of people are bloody awesome.
Yeah.
So I suppose just a bit of insight in terms of how have you got that team of people working for you?
I don't know. I mean, they obviously don't know me very well before we hire them, so I mean that's part of it. I think some personal opinion is most businesses get recruitment wrong because they start in the wrong place, and the most important place to start is to know who you are as a business and what you are and how you behave, and you know. And there are all different types of businesses. There's corporate business, there's really relaxed business. I think we're probably more on the relaxed side. But before you obviously need to hire skills into an organisation. I say skills, but superpowers. And everybody has superpowers and everybody has things to add. And equally, everybody has weaknesses. And actually, I'll come on to that because I think that's one of the reasons why I'm pretty good at recruiting, because I really understand my weaknesses. But first and foremost, you have to hire people who fundamentally fit into the place that you're working with and fit into the team and get along with the people. And I would never hire the most intelligent, the best person at a particular job if they didn't fit into the team that you're working with, because working as a cohesive group is crucial to business success, in my opinion, for what it's worth.
So it's behaviours ahead of skill set.
100%.
Yeah.
Every time. Fit and behaviours before skills. I'd rather take somebody who's got 80% of the skill and fits perfectly than someone who's got 100% of the skill who doesn't fit within the team, because that's a surefire way to mesh your team up.
Yeah, and do you know, sometimes people say it's absolutely one or the other. You do need both, don't you? But the mix is very much towards behaviours as opposed to...
Yeah, of course you've got to have the skills, but I also think as well it's not just about skill, it's about talent. And I think if you hire somebody for one skill and put them in a box, then you'll only ever get that one skill. And this sounds really twee, but actually if you give people room to breathe and in a place where they feel comfortable, then you'll get the skill they bring and they'll expand on that skill, but also you'll get all the other superpowers and skills because they feel comfortable as well.
You know, everybody makes mistakes, so even...
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. What is the biggest lesson that you have learned during your time at Popcorn in terms of recruiting somebody that wasn't right? Because you must have recruited somebody that perhaps wasn't right for the business.
Because recruitment involves people, you're never going to get it right every time, and that's just human. And I think if you can be really open and really honest with people and identify things like that quickly, is anybody who comes to work for Popcorn, I want them to succeed. And actually, if somebody isn't right for the organisation for any reason, I still want them to succeed, and I'm happy to support them. And if that means going elsewhere to succeed, then that's, you know, I believe in helping people and supporting people to the best of my ability and to the best of our ability. But ultimately, it's about creating a culture where you can be really honest and really open with people, and sometimes it doesn't work. So people can be brilliant and not fit within the organisation, and equally people can fit within the organisation but not necessarily have the skills that you need.
And who do you involve in the decision-making process? I guess it will be different people for different positions, but is it just you? Is it you know, how do you come to that decision? So part of the process, so obviously as a business expands, you can't be involved in every recruitment decision. I would always like to just have a quick chat with somebody just to see if just purely for fit and think if they'll fit along the people. But part of the recruitment process that we have is we will have people who'll be working alongside them
who to interview people just to see if they can get along, just to see if they like the individual, to see if there's a sort of connection there. And actually, you know, I think a lot of recruitment processes are really hard-nosed, hard-faced Dragon's Den situations which are trying to catch people out. Yeah. Actually, I want to catch people doing things well and being comfortable, and I want to take away any barrier to somebody being nervous, so you see the real them, see what they're really about, and you know, sort of pull away as much as you can just to see the person themselves, because that's who you're going to be working with day in, day out. So it's really important to understand what that person's like. And something that we're massively proud with is that we've got a team of people who genuinely enjoy working with each other and get along. And, you know, this isn't about being nice. This is about high performance. So this is about creating a team that's phenomenal and delivers unbelievable learning for the organisations that we work with. And actually, a lot of people expect that to be, you know, okay, a really high pressure environment where you're sort of driving for where you're really driving people to get the results that you want. Actually, in my experience, that's not the way to go about it. Get a team who trust each other and work well together, and just let them go at a project and just have high standards.
And would you say that's one of the biggest reasons why you keep your staff? Because you can recruit great people, but actually you've also then got to make sure you keep those talented individuals if they are right. How do you do it? How do you keep
look after them, but create a place where it's great to work?
Yeah.
And not it's not about creating an environment that's soft. It's an environment of high performance, but look after them. I very much believe, as business leader, I guess, and is our job is to support all the individuals that are doing the great stuff within the business, and get as many things out of their way so they're able to do a good job. So making their life as easy as possible. And you know, if that means getting along and creating an environment that's good to work in, then fantastic. But it doesn't mean, but also everybody understands within the business there's a job to be done, and the business ultimately has to be commercial, and you have to make a profit. That's just life, and that's just business. But that doesn't mean you can't have fun doing it well together. In my experience, if you look at the great sports team, so a sports team that I personally hated from back in the day was Man United, and the reason why I hated them was they were so freaking good and they made it look so easy, and they clearly had a massive respect for each other, and they did make it look easy, and they just managed to get over the line all the time. But they gelled brilliantly together, and you know, they're still doing things together after that, and you know, that's the sign of a good team. It's a team that works together and knows each other and understands each other. But also as well, in a great team, you should be able to have really honest conversations that say, actually, that's brilliant, I don't like that, that's not working, but here's why. That's not because you're trying to be hard. That's just mean you want to be in an environment where you can be really honest with people, and if you can create an environment where people trust each other and you can have those conversations, then actually the outcome at the end of the day is going to be that much better.
And I suppose I think just one more question which I'm dead intrigued about is how many businesses do you think approach things like that?
I genuinely don't know. But I think so. My background is in sport, and I think business could learn an enormous amount about high performing sports teams, because you can get along and you can enjoy working with each other and still create great results. And I think a lot of business, there's this perception that it's amazing how different a lot of businesses can be inside work to outside work. They behave totally differently. And it just feels false and nonsense. You know, if you think that there's no correlation between how people are in work and how people are out of work, you're kidding yourself. You want people to be authentic and real and able to be themselves at work, and I think that's the way you get the best results. How many businesses are like that? I think they are on the fewer businesses than like that than are not like that. But for me personally, that's what creates high performance is hiring people for their superpowers and just letting them go, and just giving them the room to do what they're brilliant at.
Very good, Mr. Gresswell. Have a bit of a laugh with it and see where it goes. Be open-minded.